Hey guys, I'm Vernon Keeter coming to you again. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome back to another edition of Characters Why I Like Them Series 2. And as you guys can see, I'm here to talk about that synthezoid that we all know and love if you're watching this. The Vision. Yes, the Vision. How many of you out there like the Vision? If you could see my hand, yeah, I'm going up. There's a lot to talk about with the Vision, but let's get right down to it. First of all, where did he first appear? First appeared in Avengers number 57. And of course, as you all know, Vision was created by none other than John Buscema and Roy Thompson. He was the creation of Ultron, the villain robot Ultron. Pretty much Ultron created his own creation in the Vision, and pretty much that's kind of where it came from. That's where the Vision really came from. Ultron really created him, which I think a lot of people got to get confused. But let's face it, Ultron is one of the most major badass Avengers villain, and if you thought it was basically creating. Ultron was created by Hank Pym. He created an android, and what happened later on? The creation turned against the creator. Ultron became more self-aware, and he kind of turned away from his He pretty much rebelled against his creator, and he pretty much later on would join Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers. And at first, he wasn't really liked as much, because of the fact that he was the creation of Ultron. So it was like, can we trust this guy? Can we really trust him? Do we know if maybe he may be fighting against Ultron, but Ultron may have some hidden codes in him to keep him from going totally good. But he would prove himself pretty much on the Avengers, even fighting his creator. He did gain control of, himself after, at one point I remember Ultron linking himself to Vision, but eventually he did get control of himself. And of course we all know, he got romantically evolved with Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch, and the two eventually kind of got married, and of course they joined the West Coast Avengers at one point, and things like that. But one thing that also kind of was interesting about the Vision, what I always loved about the Vision was his powers. That was something that I always loved about what this robot can do. I mean, first of all, he really has the ability to alter his density, so he can make himself light, he can make himself very heavy. I love the fact that he can phase through things, and many times his phasing abilities come in just a lot of handiness around. Of course, as an android, the superhuman strength is there. That's always going to be there. He also pretty much, his exoskeleton is pretty much unbreakable, pretty much. I didn't say it's breakable. It's nearly impenetrable. He has this diamond-shaped crystal in his forehead that actually, they call it a solar cell, so it can immense different types of radiation beams, so that can shoot at as well. And Vision also, he's very intelligent. Of course, that he's very intelligent. He can also interface with outside technology and self-repair himself. But of course, after a while, things started to go a little bit not wrong with the Vision, but later on we know that Wanda would basically use her abilities to make twin boys, basically twins, their kids in a way. And then all of a sudden that kind of intertwined into uh, one of the most pretty much one of the most hardcore Avengers story arcs ever. Avengers Disassembled, and this would really be kind of the end of the Vision for a while. You know, we would not see him for a while after this, um, because of losing her sons Thomas and William. That kind of basically drove Wanda to insanity. So she pretty much tried to attempt to rewrite reality, in order to recreate them, and this caused kind of a lot of catastrophic events. And the Vision, seeing this Vision, you know, he had to do something, and he pretty much, I remember him crashing a Quinjet into the Avengers mansion. He apologized to his teammates, but eventually he's saying that he was no longer in control of his body, and pretty much, if I remember correctly, several spheres like formed out of him and came like 5 different Ultrons. The Avengers destroyed the Ultrons, but it was She-Hulk who, enraged at the destruction of to the team, and she ripped the Vision apart, like tore him in half. And pretty much it was never really, they didn't believe that Ultron, they believe Ultron may have been commanding Vision somehow, but it was unknown. It was really whether it was Wanda or was it Ultron commanding him. So pretty much that kind of, you know, put a damper on Vision for a while. You know, we didn't see him for a while until Vision 2.0 came around. This Vision was like during the Young Avengers. He was a part of Young Avengers. He was like a fail-safe device in the remains of the original Vision, and he took over Kang the Conqueror, Iron Lad's armor, and pretty much there. And this Vision was a little different. Like, he had all the abilities of the original Vision, but he also had a few tricks that the other Vision didn't have. For example, he could shapeshift, time travel, and things like that. A lot of energy manipulation and things like that. But he didn't last too long either, because after he died in Avengers: The Children's Crusade #9, very good story arc right there. But after some time later, the Vision returned. The original Vision returned, and thanks to Tony, he was able to help rebuild him. And this, you gotta remember, he's been out of commission for a long time, so he doesn't know what's going on. So when his fellow Avengers start to tell him things like, you know, Wanda did this and things like that, it was like a shock to him. He kind of flipped out, because Vision he kind of gained a lot of humanity as well over time. So he was really upset. You know, he tried to find Wanda. He went to, you know, his father-in-law, you know, Magneto, and was like, tell me where she is, you know. And he literally killed Magneto. He phased through his chest and was holding his heart. And he was like, I will burst your chest if you don't tell me where she is. Unfortunately, Magneto basically threw her away after that. Threw him away, like sent him flying nearly into the Golden Gate Bridge, but he was able to fly past it. But when he did find Wanda, he was upset. He told her, he was like, don't ever come back here. Don't come to the Avengers at all. You stay out of my life. What you did was wrong. He flipped out. And even the Avengers, even they was like, damn, man, like, could you be more like a jerk? Should we step in? You know, a lot of them was like, you know what, that's his call. Like, but, you know, he really kind of had it out. It was kind of funny when he went to She-Hulk saw him, and She-Hulk, she confronted him. They confronted each other, and She-Hulk was like, "Look, if you're here to hurt me because of what I did, then I'm ready. Like, I'm not even gonna fight you." And he was like, I have no grudge against you, Jennifer Walters. Like, and but overall, despite all the things that has happened to the Vision, he is still just a great character. He's one of my favorite Avengers, and would I love to see him brought to the big screen, because they've done miraculous job with him on the small screen. Bringing him to the big screen would be excellent, but to me, you definitely have to have Ultron. You gotta have Ultron. I can't see you just bringing him into the fold without Ultron. That's just my opinion. But yeah, he's just a very cool character, guys. I love the Vision, and whenever he's around, it's a blast. And yes, he's a part of the Avengers, and he's a part of the event Avengers versus X-Men, and I love him. I really do. He's a prime example, just like Red Tornado, a prime example of going against your programming to be the bad guy, to follow your master's rule. He's a prime example of that. And it's always a question of, like, who's the better synthezoid, between mainly those two, Red Tornado and Vision. I'm not gonna decide, even though I like both characters, but I don't know, I tend to follow Vision a little bit more, because Vision has a little bit more powers and a little more sets that I like, because I always like that. I love that. I love the quote that someone said before about Vision. He's like, Vision is kind of like Martian Manhunter. He has the strength. He can phase through people and everything like that. But I rambled on enough about the Vision, guys. You guys tell me what you think about the Vision. And other than that, this is Mount Vernon Kid. Once again, thanking you for taking the time to watch Characters Why I Liked Them, Series 2. Other than that, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, I will see you next week. You guys take care.